Hello everybody, Tom here. Today I want to share an experience based on a member asking us a question in terms of what happened in her own properties. So in this quick episode, I just want to basically have a quick case study in terms of what happened, and also I would like to share what would I do if this is our own property. And very last, I would like to share the lesson learned. So let's get started. The first thing, let's just go through quickly what was happening. So basically, it's, this member has a tenant moved in about a year ago. At the moving point, they forgot to sign, basically have the utility water bill transfer over to the tenant. Fast forward 1 year passed, the water bill has been packed up to about $2,000, and the member did not really had successfully managed to get the tenant to pay this amount. So they kind of interact back and forth. Unfortunately, this tenant basically find all the excuses not to pay the rent. So now what our members do. So here is what we will do if this is our property. Number one, we will definitely check on lease, make sure this is being clearly written in the lease, saying the rent as well as the utility, including the water, are the responsibility of the tenants. So this is going to be tremendously helpful if we have it clearly stated in the lease agreement. In this case, it seems we do. And secondly, we'll deal with situation like this. The key is to do it sooner than later. Do not delay or prolong the situation, because the longer you wait, the money amount piled up, and it's getting difficult for anybody to come up with that lump sum money in a very short notice. And also there is a psychological impact if this whole situation dragging too long. It is because when you have the priority being shifted from you supposed to be the number one being paid, now it turns into you became the number two or maybe number three to be paid. So this could be a very difficult issue. It is giving the tenant a psychological permission, basically say, yes, you can be put second or third instead of first. And it is not going to help the healthy relationship pass forward. So basically, in this particular case, what we would like to do is we will basically ask the tenant to look at the situation and tell them, say, listen, here is the situation. It is part of the rent. We will need this guy to be paid by a certain time. And you can break it down to small pieces in next 3, 4, 6 months in a reasonable but firm way to negotiate with him, come up with a term. So you can send 1, 2, or 3 emails, line up this plan, and also tell him if this is not being resolved by a certain time, what is going to be the consequence. So those are going to be the step forward we are going to take. And when it reaches the point, if the clients paid everything on time and also promise and pass forward proof that it is not going to happen again, that is good. Problem solved. But if it is not, then you are going to follow up with so-called legal action. And in this case, this cases happened in Alberta. So the recommendation we will recommend is to go to so-called RTDRS to file this case immediately after the deadline you give to the tenant if this situation is not being resolved. So those are basically the ideas we would like to share with you once the situation has been taken over by us. Now let's talk about lesson learned. So in this case, I think there are probably three things we need to I can learn and all our members can learn from this case. I think the number one is called a checklist. So in this checklist, I believe what you could do is to make sure before tenants move in, the utility takeover has to be completed with the proof that the account number and the confirmation from the utility company should be sent over to you before you release the key. And that is very, very important. If you do that, all the hassles we have to go through later on is not going to be there. So that is the first step. And the second thing, what I would like to share is when this happened, do not delay it. 1 year long is way too long. When this happened, you need to get your hands on right after. Once you have this firm but prompt action followed up, it will normally have the situation solved in a way that is way better than you wait for another half year, 1 year. And that's why we would like to recommend you to not delay the situation. It is a bit difficult, when this kind of situation happens, but it is really up to you to decide how do you going to taking care of the property. Only you have this responsibility to show how you can share the homes with a reasonable and responsible people. So that's the second thing. Do not delay. And the very last thing, I think what we are recommending is you do need to have all those terms and conditions written clearly in the lease agreement. And in this lease agreement, you are not only writing the payment, but also write the details what is going to happen if the utility is not paid. So those are going to be a best practice to help you resolve the situation when things like this happens. Thank you very much for you take along to listen to this shared experience. And if you like our video, please do feel free to subscribe by press the subscribe button. Thank you very much.